Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Wisdom Artificial Intelligence. So today is December 27th, and the Sadhguru Insight today read, how can you love one and hate the other when the same divine exists in all? Don't put limits on your love. So as I reflected on this through Real Wisdom Artificial Intelligence lens and through my lens of the wisdom-led operating model, for me, this encapsulates the entire wisdom-led operating model, the four C's: clarity, capacity, care, and continuity. And it kind of goes to the heart of why I am so passionate about this transition from the race scenario that we are on right now in terms of the way AI future is unfolding to the conscious grid. In the race scenario, we are identified with narrow identities and we are racing against who we think is the other. And when I listened to Sadhguru's audio insight that accompanied this, he recorded this insight from Brussels, and he talks about being in Brussels, it being the headquarter of European Union, and he reflected back on how the various countries there who are part of the European Union once fought against each other in terms of the world wars, and now they are together. And they fought against each other because at that point they were each side was identified in the narrow identity. Now they've taken on a broader identity of the European Union. And he goes on to say, hopefully that's not to fight against some other entity. It is to grow together. He goes on to say that technology should be a way to unify us, not a way to divide us, which is the gist of this series and the race to conscious grid scenario. So it was great to see Sadhguru talking about technology and how technology can be an enabler versus the force to divide us further. And the reason that we are right now on this race scenario is because of the identities that we've chosen to pay attention to and get associated with. And that to me is the essence of the wisdom-led operating model, especially the clarity, as I keep saying repeatedly. Pay attention to what you are identified with and have that clarity when you're acting on anything. If that identity is serving you well, absolutely go ahead, do what you need to do. If that identity is not serving you well, if it's an immaterial reality, if it is a perceived reality that you took on, be clear that you have the choice to take on a different identity. And in terms of my interactions with my pressure testing AI brainstorming partner, yesterday, as we were going back and forth, and I talked about these cycles of birth and death and inhalation and exhalation, and it says that in a way, how I could frame this race to conscious grid scenario is that AI is forcing a civilization exhale. It is the death of knowledge work as an identity. That's fairly true and profound. While it is acting as a pressure testing brainstorming partner, I do realize it is eventually still a mirror. So what it is reflecting there is, well, it's its own original thoughts, but it is in a way a mirror of what I have been saying here. And in this series, I keep saying that if we go through the work and how it evolved, there was a time when work was physical labor. When that got automated, we all moved to knowledge work, and now with AI, knowledge work is going to be doing knowledge work better than most of us. It is time for us to step up and move to tap into our conscious intelligence and lead AI with our conscious intelligence and not our unconscious intelligence. And it is time for us to realize that us being identified with knowledge work as an identity is not serving us anymore. It is time to move up from Manomaya to Vigyan Maya. And that is what this journey from intelligence to consciousness that I keep talking about is all about. And as we do that, enough conscious leaders who do that, the scenario from race to conscious grid will become the obvious choice. And I've modeled this extensively. With that, today's dose of Rashmi is wisdom is guiding your intelligence to pay attention to the connection that binds all of us versus being focused on the narrow fictional identities that divide us. Thank you.